Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. So today we've got a new product to show you guys and test out and see how well it does. This is called a Comica V30 Pro microphone, technically for DSLR cameras. However, there's a twist to this one. I don't have a DSLR camera, so we are going to hook it up to my PA system and do a little bit of experimenting with it and see how things go. But let me first just go over some of the features of this thing. Super carioid polar pattern, low cut filter, 10 dB adjustable sensitivity, low self noise, super anti-interference, special design for excellent shock absorbing, packed with windscreen and wind muff. And when you look at the picture of the wind muff, it looks kind of cute. Anyways, cold shoe design with 1/4-inch thread at bottom. So you can mount this thing on any kind of a tripod that has the 1/4-inch mount. So they're all kind of like universal for cameras and stuff. Or if you have a DSLR camera, then slide it into the holder on the camera. So our frequency range here is from 40 hertz to 20,000. Sensitivity is -33 dB plus or minus 2 dB and -23 dB plus or minus 2 dB. Impedance is 200 ohms. Dynamic range is 100 decibels. Maximum SPL is 114 dB, so it can definitely handle some loud noise. Signal to noise ratio is 78 dBs. Audio output is 3.5 millimeter plug, uses 2 AAA batteries. Battery life is 200 hours. That's actually quite good. Weighs 114 grams, and it is 210 by 62 by 80 millimeters. And it includes the mic body, including the windscreen, and of course the wind muff. So let's open this box up and see what this thing actually looks like. Okay, so we're not going to break the factory seal that way. Now, I got this on Amazon, and it's from a seller called Magic Flute. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but the link will be in the video description below. More than one way into a box. Haha, pretty good seal. You can't pierce it with a pen. All right, so wow. That's a big microphone. Check that out. It's kind of like spring-loaded. And we've got our cable here. Not an amazingly long cable, but that's okay. Not a problem. And this is our windscreen that's already on here. And we've got this big, huge thing. This is our wind muff, they call it, I guess. Of course, we're not going to be using this thing for the video, but look at this thing. That's huge. It almost looks like an animal's tail. Like, literally, it does. It's kind of, that's kind of neat, actually. So this would go over top of all this somehow. Well, that'll definitely keep the wind out of there. Just a rough guess at how this goes on, but somehow I guess this tailpiece has to go in behind here, but that's what it's going to end up looking like. That'll definitely cut out wind and then some. That's quite interesting. Anyways, maybe in a future video we'll do this once I can figure out how to actually get it onto the microphone properly, but that's cool. It's interesting. Anyhow, so onward. I'm going to shut the video off for a second. I'm going to go get some batteries, hook this up, and we'll come back and give it a trial run and see how this thing does. So don't go away. It's instant for you. Okay, guys, and we are back. And so I've got it hooked up on, it's actually a tripod for a light, but it has the 1/4-inch thread. And batteries are in it, and the power's turned on. Now, if we turn the power off on the back, let's see what happens. So if the power is turned off, that's what you get, nothing. I think there's a middle position here. 1, 2, yes, wow, that's a huge boost in signal. That's like massive, wow. And we got this other switch up top. Let's see if it makes a difference. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, let's do some experimenting. Let's go full on first, so it's not the strong signal. And I'm going to play some guitar, and we'll see what it sounds like. Now let's just flick the switch. This is the top switch. Now I've put the switch all the way to the, well, if you're standing behind the mic, it'd be to the left. Now let's try that high output selection. Okay, so this is the middle position that's got high output. Okay, so let's go back. All right, so now we're back on the other position, lower output section. Now, this weird-looking animal tail furry thing, whatever you want to call it, the Muff. Let's just try putting this on. We're not going to probably be able to get it on all the way just because it's kind of... I wonder if we can just pull this off. But will it make a difference to putting this on? Well, let's see what happens. Maybe it'll go on better. Actually, it does go on better if it's like that. No, I'm not going to fight with that. Leave it like that and see what it's like. Kind of weird looking. Let's see what the sound quality like is different with just this on. We better use the same pick. Makes a difference on the pick thickness. Move the switch. So top switch is now to the right. Okay, so middle position for the higher output. Now, the high output, I would use that if you're definitely a further distance away, because it's going to give you that extra amount of amplification in to the system. So that's where I would use the middle position of the power switch. It goes like off, middle, and then fully on. And fully on is the lower output. How much effect this other switch really has, you'll be able to tell from the video. I'll be able to tell when I play back the video before I upload it. What difference this thing makes, it's anybody's guess. But let's get this off. And get all the little furries out of there. Now, somewhere, let me put it. There it is. So we'll put this thing back on. Now, you guys have heard me just playing some stuff, so let's try playing and singing and see what happens. Now, being that we're on the high output section, I'm going to move the mic a little bit away from me, and we're going to see how well it picks up guitar and vocals. I'm going to do a song that I wrote just to keep YouTube off my head. Now let's turn that output stage down. So this would mean you'd have to be much closer up because obviously my vocal level has dropped. Okay, so that's the two different modes with that. I don't think we really need to retest this anyways at this point. We're going to get an idea just from talking, the talking plus a little bit of the playing we did. Anyways, I'm going to quickly go back and I'm going to look over and listen to how this was with the guitar, just playing out and with singing. And then, of course, come right back because it'll be instant for you guys and let you know what I think of this thing. Now, this was bought on Amazon.ca, like I said, from a store called Magic Flute. In the video description will be the link if you want to purchase one. They're about $69.99 Canadian. Free shipping, Amazon. I actually ordered this thing yesterday, and I didn't even use Prime shipping. It was just free shipping because of the cost. It got here today, and I was like, I mean, it wasn't even an hour after I paid for it that it was actually in possession of parcel post on the truck and on its way. And that's fast. I was like, holy cow, now that is really fast shipping. But anyways, let me go do that, and then we'll come back, and I'll tell you what I really think of this thing and tell you if it's worthwhile. So don't go away. Instant for you. Okay, guys, and we're back, and I checked out the footage and listened to everything, different settings on the mic, everything that we did, talking-wise, playing the guitar, singing and playing. And, well, I'm really impressed with this mic. It is just amazing. Definitely worth the $69.99 in my opinion. Now, that's Canadian dollars. Like I said, you can get this at Amazon.ca. I'm pretty sure Amazon.com. Do check, though. And it's from the company Magic Flute. Everything you need will be in the video description below. If you're looking for something like this for your DSLR camera, or you just want to hook it up, you know, something like I did to the mixing board, you know, kind of deal, or you want to use it on a PC or a Macintosh computer that has a microphone input, this would make a really great mic, even if you're going to sit here and do something like a podcast kind of deal. I've got this small Apex stand that has an adapter so that I can use the 1/4 inch, and the Apex stand I actually got at Long & McQuaid for like, I think it was like under $20. It wasn't very expensive, and it's an all-metal stand. And it can raise or lower its height. But the cable is short, so keep that in mind. You will need a adapter cable for lengthening the cable. So you're going to need like a stereo 1/8 inch or 3.5 millimeter female to male end at whatever size you need. Music stores carry those, a lot of other places. How I hooked this in was actually with a really super long, I think it's about a 20 or 25 foot cable I have that has the adapter on each end. And then I plugged the other end into this part, and then the RCA cables went into the RCA input on one of the channels on my mixing board, and it works. It's just great. Right now I'm talking on my headset, obviously. I've got this all disconnected now. The manual is actually really good in this too, by the way. So yeah, it does come with a manual. We didn't show that in the unboxing part. This strange looking animal tail type wind muff thing. I'm not sure what it's going to be like in the outdoors, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely going to serve its purpose the way it's supposed to. Now you will have to remove this sponge part, which just twist it right off like that, and then put that on, and then it's got a hook back thing. You're gonna have to stretch it and hook it in behind here to keep it on there securely, and then away you go. You may be able to use it in conjunction with this one. I just found it really snug trying to get it over top of this sponge and then across and over. Now, this does come in two color forms. You have black and red, which that's this one, or you have an all black version. So the only difference is this red bracket will be black. You know, so you've got two color choices you can go through for that. Now, I found the way it picked up the vocals and the guitar was actually quite amazing. It actually created a decent mix. Now, of course, part of that is you have to learn to sing over top of your instrument, which really does make a huge difference. Otherwise, you're way too quiet and you're, not going to be picked up very well. Okay. Now, this does have the 10 decibel gain, which is the middle position. So when you first turn it on, turn it to the middle, that's your 10 dB gain. And then, of course, you turn it all the way, and then it reduces things again. And then, of course, you've got your low-cut filter in here. And the batteries will give you, they say, approximately 200 hours of runtime. Now, I don't know how true that is. We would have to actually do a lengthy test, and 200 hours is like, several days. So you're talking 24 hours a day. So 4 days, 8 days, 8 days and an X amount of hours, 8 days, 8 hours. To give us 200 hours, and that's of not being shut off. So when you're going on and off and on and off, it's going to take you a long time to accumulate 200 hours of use out of one set of AAA batteries. So, but that's like acting the same way as a phantom mic system with that boosting, right? It's going to boost you up, give you more stronger input, output type of thing. So your input obviously is your mic, your output signal goes to here, into your system, and voila, away you go. But anyways, for the DSLR camera users, I think this is a really great choice. It's not overly expensive. It's not underly cheap either, Getting access to the batteries is just a matter of slipping this top cover half section off, slap in your batteries. They're marked so you can't screw up on polarities. It's impossible, okay? And put your batteries in, close the cover back up, and you're ready to rock. Now, when the light does go red, though, it is time to change your batteries. So as long as it's green, you're golden. Red, critical, okay? Definitely a great buy. Do check it out. Check their store, too, because with Amazon, you can also check on the seller's store link and see all the products that they carry. So, do check out their complete store at Magic Flute as well. See if there's anything else that you want other than this thing. But I do think it's a really great buy. Now, I don't really have any real downsides to say about it, other than the fact that it's not perfect. Nothing ever is, which is why I can never give anything a 5-star rating, because it's just unreasonable. Anyhow, in the overall picture, I'm going to put this at 4.5 out of 5. Okay, now it loses the points for not being perfect. That's just a big thing. It isn't perfect. I don't see any other downsides to this at this point. I like the fact that it's got some spring to it, so it does have some give. Now, if you're in a higher wind situation, this is where it could lose a little bit of that, extra, because we're at 4.5 out of 5, right? So, we're kind of really stretching it here. It's not perfect. The only other thing I might say that could possibly be an issue is if you're in a high wind situation, even if this is mounted solid on your camera or your stand, whatever you're using it on, wind could easily just bob this up and down. And that may be something that could interfere with your audio because it may create a bit of a scratchy sound. But I don't think you will have that problem, but that possibility could exist. Okay, so we're not going to say that it does because we don't know for sure. And it's not windy enough outside right now to be able to do a test like that to figure it out, if it would cause that or not. But I really doubt it would, but anything is possible in this world. So overall, I think it's a great buy. I think it's going to work in the applications definitely of the DSLR camera users. It will definitely work too if you want to do what I did type of thing. I think that, hooking it into my PA, even if I went direct into a laptop or, like a PC or a Mac computer that has the microphone input jack, which not many of them do anymore on either side, but there are some that still do out there. You could use this as a regular, desktop type of, even a little podcast type mic, because it does pick up extremely, extremely well. And I liked how it separated the vocals between the guitar and me. And the fact that I can sing over top of my guitar really does help a lot too. And it captured it from, a few feet away. Like when you are working with normal microphones, most people are using, in general, passive mics, okay, which are non-powered or non-phantom type mics, okay? And it's a real pain to mic up a microphone, never mind the person, because you got to be right on the mic, you know, and almost eating those kind of mics, even with the board gain set really high. And as you go away from it, they lose the audio so quickly. With this system and being, you know, the powered system that it is, you know, because it'll only work if it's got battery power, all right? If you turn the switch off, you get nothing. But even in the lower range, it picks up really good even at a distance. And of course, at that 10 decibel boost, it really picks up good, you know. So that's pretty cool, you know. So if you're looking at an inexpensive way too to really set yourself up with a decent recording setup for a lot of stuff, and go on the cheap side and still get really good quality out of it, this is another option for that. And, you know, for the cost of an extension cable and stuff, it's not a bad thing, you know. And you can get cables with adapters too that also go from the 1/8 inch or 3.5 millimeter to the 1/4 inch adapters that are like a stereo input, TRS input. Basically, it's a headphone jack adapter is all it is. And then you can go in direct into even a USB box and use the mic that way. You know, because this is actually long enough too that I could, you know, put this up to my Focusrite box with an adapter on here to go from the 3.5 to the 6 mil, otherwise known as 1/4 inch, and plug it right in if I wanted to do it that way. And I could use it as like a little desk podcast mic or whatever, or jibber jabber mic kind of thing, and get really good exceptional quality sound, which is something that a lot of people are really looking for, is good sounding audio when they're listening to somebody talk. Really makes a huge difference on understanding what they're saying. So anyways, there we go. There we have it. I really thank you guys so much for being patient through this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I love tech toys. You guys know it. And anything technical. I was even at Long McQuaid again today and picked up another set of toys for another purpose. Yeah, this thing is definitely cool. So give it a shot. Try it out. See what you think. You know, I think it's definitely a really good mic, and I think it's definitely worth looking serious at, too. Anyways, thank you again, and we'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.